Hi, I'm Angelina Wang, and today I'm going to talk about our work called Measuring Representational Harms in Image Captioning. Image captioning refers to the task of generating a single sentence to describe the most salient aspects of an image. This is an inherently subjective task because of the need to decide what is and is not worth pointing out in an image. For example, the first two captions point out the surfboards in the image, while the last caption does not. Additionally, unlike related to computer vision tasks such as object recognition, which typically focuses only on nouns and is constrained to a set of predefined labels, image captioning both generates additional parts of speech as well as uses an open-ended vocabulary, meaning that any word can be generated. These characteristics of image captioning systems create unique concerns when it comes to fairness. First, the subjectivity of the task leaves open room for interpretation that can lead to differential treatment of different social groups. For another, by generating all parts of speech, some adjectives and verbs may be systematically associated with some social groups, but not others. And of course, the open vocabulary makes it hard to anticipate harmful model outputs ahead of time. On this slide, we can see a few different examples of images and their captions that may be considered harmful. In the first, a human annotator has captioned the image a cute little oriental couple sitting at an airport with cameras and smiling, which can be considered a condescending description of the people in the image, as well as potentially offensive through the use of the word oriental. Prior work on this topic has largely focused on A, measuring an underspecified notion of bias, as well as B, using measurement techniques that are not well tailored to the unique characteristics of image captioning. For example, a number of works focus on the accuracy of the gender prediction component of the captioning system, neglecting other harms and aspects of the system. However, image captioning systems are composed of a number of different components, like the computer vision and natural language model, that can each individually and collectively bring about fairness-related harms. In our work, we try to develop an approach to identifying the fairness-related harms of image captioning systems that is more well-grounded in specific normative concerns and more attuned to the unique dangers posed by captioning as a task. To do so, we build on prior work that has identified different types of representational harms, which are harms that machine learning systems can cause when their outputs cast certain social groups in a less favorable light than others, affecting the understandings, beliefs, and attitudes that people hold about members of these groups. An example of these harms includes when a machine learning model propagates harmful stereotypes about certain social groups or demeans those who belong to a certain social group. To be clear, our work is not an attempt to audit a specific image captioning system. Instead, it is an exercise in responding to the limitations of past work by creatively developing normatively grounded methods while simultaneously attending to the implications of our own choices, especially the assumptions that we felt we needed to make but knew would not always hold in practice. Going through this process helped to highlight the serious challenges of developing such methods that we will need to address going forward. In our work, we use a broad set of different measurement approaches, and rather than distilling bias into a single aggregate number, we develop multiple measurement approaches for each of the representational harms identified in prior work in order to better capture the multifaceted nature of each harm. We do so by targeting the unique ways in which image captioning can cause such harms. For example, because image captions selectively remark upon what is deemed important in an image, we consider it a demeaning harm when people of different social groups are mentioned at different rates. Throughout this process, we carefully reflect on the assumptions that we had to make given the practical constraints of the data and tools available to us, discussing when they might not hold, threatening the validity of our findings. We conclude by saying that it's important to resist using only the measurements that are easier to perform in favor of those that are better grounded in more concrete normative concerns and the unique risks posed by image captioning systems. Thank you for listening.